Hello, this is Lynn from Linnovation.com, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll go over the extended button mode that was added to CTR2 MIDI version 2 firmware. A new Flex Wi-Fi mode was also added. I'll cover that mode in the next video. In this video, I'll refer to CTR2 MIDI as simply the MIDI. I'll be using Thetis running on my Windows computer to demonstrate this feature. The mapping concepts I go over here are similar on other radio control programs that support MIDI control, but each program has its own way of mapping MIDI commands. It's already connected to my computer's USB port, so it's just a matter of telling Thetis to look for it. We begin by opening the Setup menu and selecting the Serial MIDI CAT tab. Next, select the MIDI tab and click the Configure MIDI button. Thetis will connect to the MIDI and display the MIDI commands that are currently mapped for this device. Mapping includes both buttons and dial controls. To verify we're connected, rotate the knob on the MIDI or press any button. The program will switch to the editing screen and highlight the MIDI command number received along with the radio function that it was mapped to. The buttons and knob on the MIDI are permanently assigned to MIDI command numbers. This map tells Thetis what to do with them. All MIDIs have 4 knob modes. Each mode has a turn and press and turn function. This gives you a total of 8 knob functions. Previous to version 2, the MIDI supported 6 buttons, with each button having a short press and a long press function, for a total of 12 functions. In version 2, this mode is now called Normal Button Mode. With the new extended button mode in version 2, each of the 4 knob modes have their own set of 12 button functions. This gives you a total of 48 MIDI button command numbers. These can be used to control any of the button functions available in your radio control program. When the MIDI is running in extended button mode, the knob mode determines the command number that is sent for each button. To help you visualize how this works, I've created a few Excel spreadsheets. These are available on my website on the MIDI's operation manual page. I'll add a link below. The first sheet is for normal button mode. This sheet is blank, but you can see how each button and knob control are mapped to a MIDI command number. The sheet shows the short press and long press MIDI commands for each button. The next sheet is filled in for Thetis when operated in normal button mode. You can see how each MIDI command number is mapped. These must match the mapping in the program. If you haven't already mapped Thetis for the MIDI, you can download the CTR2 MIDI normal button app zip file from the CTR2 MIDI operation manual page. Unzip that file to a folder on your computer. Click the Manage Mappings list box at the top of the Thetis screen and select Import. Navigate to the folder where you unzip the map file and select CTR2 MIDI Thetis normal buttons.m2c. Once you've imported it, select Load from the Manage Mappings list box and select CTR2 MIDI from the list. You can see that if I turn the knob, the MIDI sends command number 100 and the VFO-A frequency changes. If I press and turn the knob, the MIDI sends command 101 and the volume for VFO-A changes. If I short press button number 2, MIDI sends command number 2 and the band up function is selected. If I long press button number 2, the MIDI sends command number 12 and band down function is selected. In normal mode, long press buttons are offset by 10. I'll go over the extended button mode next. To enable this mode for MIDI, you must connect a dumb terminal program like PuTTY or TerraTerm to the MIDI. I have TerraTerm opened and connected to the MIDI on the bottom left panel. Press the F key on the terminal to toggle the button mode. An information screen will pop up for 10 seconds explaining the command number assignments. Once you've enabled extended button mode, you'll notice the buttons no longer control the correct functions on the radio. Short pressing button number 2 still sends command number 2 and the band up is selected, but long pressing button number 2 just brings up a blank command edit page. Thetis doesn't recognize this command because it wasn't mapped in the normal button mode map. To see what's going on, let's take a look at the blank extended button Excel spreadsheet. The spreadsheet shows the 4 button modes: home, number 1, number 2, and number 3. The button mode is indicated by the yellow LEDs on the unit. Note that the numbering scheme is different from the normal mode. Instead of MIDI buttons 11 to 16 being assigned to the long press button functions, they are assigned to MIDI commands 25 to 48. Long pressing button number 2 on the knob home mode sends MIDI command 26, which isn't mapped in the normal map. If I change the knob mode to number 1, pressing button 2 now sends MIDI command 8, and long pressing it sends command 32. Now let's look at the extended button spreadsheet for Thetis. You can see there are a lot of new functions assigned. Each knob mode has 12 functions, so we must update the mapping in Thetis for it to respond properly to the new button MIDI commands. To do this, download the CTR2 MIDI extended button app map zip file from my website. Unzip the file in a folder on your computer, then import the CTR2 MIDI Thetis extended buttons.m2c file into Thetis. Once this is done, you can load the CTR2 MIDI extended button map. From the spreadsheet, you can see how the new button functions are grouped in each knob mode. This makes them easier to remember. The knob's home mode, all yellow LEDs off, has the same mappings as the original MIDI normal buttons. Knob mode number 1 includes most of the radio modes. The commonly used modes are accessed with button short presses. Button long presses are used to select the less used modes. Knob mode number 2, upper yellow LED on, gives you direct access to the bands. Again, the most common bands are accessed with short presses, and the least common bands are accessed with long presses. Knob mode number 3, both yellow LEDs on, give you access to the CW macros. With the new map loaded, long pressing button 2 while in the knob home mode now decrements the band, and the other buttons follow the functions on the Excel spreadsheet. Of course, you can edit and rearrange these mappings to fit your operating style. Just remember to save the map file when you're finished. I hope this video gave you an understanding of how the new extended button mode works on the MIDI. As mentioned earlier, each control program has its own way of editing this mapping. I previously posted a video that describes the mapping process for CTR2 MIDI and CTR2 dial. It covers map editing in SmartSDR for iOS and macOS. All of Marcus's apps use the same map editor. I'll add a link to it below. My next video will cover the new Flex Wi-Fi mode that has been added to CTR2 MIDI version 2. This mode allows you to directly control a Flex radio over Wi-Fi without a third-party app, similar to how CTR2 Flex works. If you want to be notified when I post new videos, hit the subscribe button below and click the bell. Thanks for your interest in and support of my CTR2 project. Thanks for your interest in and support of my CTR2 products. 73s.